Hey everyone, welcome back to another Songs of Six episode with Minya Plays. Lots happened. A lot has happened since the last thing that I recorded. Um, First, I do want to report I did end up clearing off the entire map of all the animals, and the effect that that's had has been pretty beneficial. I only have 23 people in my graveyard with a population of 439. So that's pretty promising. Now it could be that, and it could also be the clothes thing, because I did change my policy. Well, I had 5 pieces, but I just realized that I couldn't keep up with 5, so I just now lowered it to 4. But I had said I had bumped it up to 3 pieces of clothing, and I know the clothing is supposed to protect the citizens from harsh weather and yada yada whatnot. So could be because I'm better clothed. It could be because there's no animals on the map to kill me. So there's no more hunting, and yeah, the whole mini map is clear. The other good news: finally got the eggs. Oh, took forever, and honestly, for all the work that I've done off camera here, this is very recent. So it obviously the mistake that I made up here when I made that original farm with 10, and then I expanded it just a little bit. What I should have done was either waited a little longer to make that initial one to maybe gather some more eggs, although I really don't have a lot of luck gathering them. The experiment with the hunters proved fruitless. I got no eggs out of all that stuff that I killed up there. Or I should have set up a second one that was a little smaller. Maybe half the size of this, maybe a third of the size of this, that took like 25 or 30 eggs. That would have helped the eggs grow, or would have helped it grow quicker. So yeah. So I expanded the village a little bit. Let's see. I set up this. I did put in this second area over here, and I put in another industrial area. I moved my stone warehouse and stone mason down to here just to free up this space so that I can have a large area in here to play with. And I got this area, and I got this area set up. So this is my original ore mine. I've opened up this ore mine as well to help me get everything I need. I did decide to go with the layout on this one a little bit differently. So I put the smelter here with the ore warehouse here and the coal warehouse here. So he's still got his resources right next to him. And but then I go ahead and dump the metal out to its own warehouse. So I have coal and metal. So the weaponsmithy and toolsmithy have separate warehouses for coal and metal right next to each other. And then instead of sharing a warehouse with tools and weapons, I gave them each their own. So yeah, and I was working on some walls down here. So I brought it all the way over to here from almost the corner, and then I brought it all the way up to here. I was just about to start building this part. I was letting my villagers, we'll call them villagers, I was letting them pick up this wood that's been laying around to replenish the store, the warehouses, and then I was going to go ahead and build this next leg. But before I could get to that, Crawl, I got the notice that Crawl is a few days out, so we're getting ready to get raided. This time he's mad, I guess. Oh, and I turned the game music off. I noticed in the last recording, I think the volume on my PC was up and my mic was picking up more of that than it was my voice. So just leave the game music off. I still have the sound effects on. I don't know if you can hear them or not, but anyway, let's get us started. So we're in second day of winter, and so I'm going to let it run till at least the third day of winter. and then I'm going to muster the troops. My massive army of 50 men. Oh, one other thing that I did is I bumped up their battle gear. Since I only had the one division, I wanted to see what happens and how many survive if I max out the battle gear. I know it's a diminishing return for the increases that you get for each piece, but you know, I've got a lot of it in stock right now, so I just thought, why not? Let's see what happens. Alright. Again, I don't want to wait to muster the men until he's already on me. I don't know how much difficulty I'm going to have getting out through this area, or, you know, because I'm sure he won't be accommodating and come straight down from the top for me, because that would make it too easy. So let's get him up here. Hold on. I do plan to go through this not on full speed. That's just, I just can't manage it when it moves that fast. And if I let him get on too far into the map, yeah, he gets too far into the map if I have the game running at full speed before I can pause and get myself set up. So yeah, it's starting to take shape. So I'm calling this Village 1. So I renamed a lot of my warehouses for Village 1, Northwest, Northeast, Southeast, Southwest. The 2 industrial areas. I might need another one still. And what I'm trying to do, I'll just go off the screen for a second. So the population, when the last video that I made, I was around 300, and I did build this one lonely tavern, so 16 people can partake. But like I said, I don't want to plop them down in mass quantities and then have my population go skyrocketing. But as I build out these areas, my goal was to get my people employed. But what kept happening was my population kept going up. So I'm at 438 now, with only 289. Well, yeah, 289 possible. 6 guys aren't training. I guess they're fully trained. So the next thing I was going to do once I got that wall up was I was going to actually build some more training grounds and increase the size of this division to 100 and start training 2 more divisions of 50, so I could have 1 main corps and 2 that I can use for flanking maneuvers or whatever, or that I can combine. I haven't really decided if I'm going to go with any green troops. I really like people to be as well trained as they can be. So yeah, it looks like we're all mustered. I will go ahead and fast forward until it says, until he offers, or yeah, gives his demand. On the other, so once I got that first one, the first pasture up and running, no, the hover's not going to help me there. This has almost got enough eggs in it already. It really doesn't take long once you have larger pastures, and once that one's up, then I'll do the next one, and it'll be even faster still. Yeah, you start getting eggs once you get these things going. Way more than you can do anything with, and I tend to just not even put them in storage. Alright, I am gonna just see if he jumped onto the map. Okay, he did not, so we will go to that speed, and we'll just keep around the map. I'd really love to hear from you guys as far as how your buildings are going. If anything I've said has helped you, if you think I'm completely wrong, I'd love to get your feedback, because I'm still learning this game. And I was looking at, yep, there he is. I was looking at some other options, like I looked at some mountain maps, mountain regions, and they looked pretty interesting. I just don't know that I want to dig into those things. I mean, it's crazy long when you get those guys tunneling into the mountain and trying to build a base inside a mountain, and then you still have to grow food outside. I'd love to hear your opinions on it, though. Is it more defensible? How do you handle it? Let me know. Alright, so I think I'm going to head out to that ore mine. In that general direction, anyway. So let's see. I guess the question will be, where does he turn? And I see heading to the ore mine may have been a little too far. I may end up not getting set up before he arrives. Oh, well, I didn't make it to the ore mine, and I'm still... Why are they stopped? Who got lost? Oh, you guys kill me. Well, I'm glad I didn't go to the ore mine. Okay, he's dropping down. Oh my God, move. This just drives me crazy, absolutely insane. Where is the other guy? Here he comes. And here's another guy just standing back here. I don't know why, but he is. Now I do have a fence line here for pathing. And if these guys would freaking move, I could have got him coming through there in a very narrow band, but no, now he's going to come right into the damn village. Really need you guys to move. Anytime now. There you go. And get him. Officially. So yeah, it's another evenly matched fight. I'm hoping that you know, 6 pieces of battle gear will make somewhat of a difference. It certainly seems to have. Because yeah, that was very quick. I didn't lose anybody. 13% injuries though. That's more injuries than I expected. Definitely more injuries than I expected. Oh, and one other thing I do want to mention. So let's have a look and see. Come here. So these guys out here. No, he's not injured. So after the last video, I think I mentioned, you know, when people get injured, the injury progresses until they die. I'm wrong. I had a raid happen, and yeah, I had a raid happen, and I clicked on one of the guys that was laying in the field afterwards, because they tend to fall asleep right there on the battlefield. It's really interesting. And I just always assumed that those are the injured guys. And I found a guy who had his injury stat was at 35%. So I just sat there and watched it because I wanted to see how long it took for it to go up. And instead it went down. It went all the way down to 0, and he completely healed himself. So there is a healing mechanic in the game. So I still don't understand why these people die so damned easy. But, yeah, there you go. Come on. starting to not be able to remember where I'm at. So yeah, I still have 71 available places in the graveyard for this battle, and since I only had 50 guys, there's no chance of me filling this up. I think I got up to 50 or 60 places were used, is the highest I've gotten to. And then of course during peacetime and when crawl's not raiding, yeah, it tends to clear out pretty good. So no more animals in the map. Big difference. And one other thing I did want to cover. So I set this one up with grain, fruit. Well, I changed it. I did 2 mushroom farms, 2 grain farms. No veggie, no fruit. And just to see, because the Dondorians, if you go, find it down here. There you go. Their favorite foods are meat, fish, mushrooms, and grain. And since they're the only race in the game, I figured I would provide them with mushrooms and grain. I already have fish, and I was waiting on meat, and that's starting to come in now. So I just thought, if I only provide those 4 things, then what I would expect to happen would have been that this food preference would have, this bar would have maxed out. It didn't quite work the way that I thought it would. Only because these guys in the kitchen, they still make fruit meals and veggie meals, even if there's no locally grown fruit and veggies, which meant that these guys, these cooks, were coming all the way over to here to get vegetables from this warehouse. Okay, from now on, if I say storehouse, you know what I mean. I'm going to stop correcting myself. They'd come all the way over here to get vegetables and fruit from these 2 warehouses, and then bring it all the way back over here. So I conceded the victory to the kitchen staff and changed this back up. So I put 1 field of each type in each of these areas. Up in this one and this one, these 2 upper ones, I did not put in a fish warehouse, only because I don't really have that much. There's not really enough to go around. So if they want to run down here and pick up fish, then go for it, I guess. I didn't want them to do it for 3 out of the 6 food types that they were serving up, but I really don't want to build a dedicated warehouse for fish and take up that space up there, just for probably 20 or 30 fish in it. So and I'm out of fishing spots down here. So until I can expand up to where the river is, which is pretty far north, yeah, there won't be any more than what I'm providing now. So excuse me. So yeah, the next steps here for me. I'm going to increase my army by about 150 people, and you don't really have to. I mean, Crawl, like I said, he'll match your army strength, but the game was designed for big battles, and in doing, no matter how hard I try to employ all my people, I just can't do it. So I'm going to have to employ them in the military. I do also have plans to start building libraries next, and I'll try not to run that too much off camera. I'll go ahead and lay it out what I want, and then show you it being built and how the research works. So yeah, that was a fine battle. Our men prevailed, and our village is growing, and life is good. So enjoy your day, everybody. Happy gaming, and I'll see you in the next one.